UFC 309 is less than a month away, and today I'm going to be breaking down the rematch between Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. Now, look, the odds suggest that this is going to be a pretty easy fight for Charles Oliveira, and I don't think it's going to be. Look, man, Michael Chandler hits like a truck, and he's had success against every fighter he's faced in the UFC. Win or lose, okay? Look, against Poirier, had success there. Gaethje hurt Gaethje multiple times, and he hurt Oliveira as well. The guy is very game, and he's not going to be easy to beat. And you got Oliveira on the other side. Most submissions in UFC history. Stand-up game is great. Tons of power in his hands as well. I think this is going to be a hell of a fight, and I'm going to break it down right now. Michael Chandler. What Michael Chandler does so well that I don't think he gets enough credit for is putting pressure on people and making them fight his fight, which is trading and exchanging, and he is looking to land that right hand every time. He's always looking to land that shot and always looking to end the fight with it, and he definitely can do that. The dude's right hand is extremely powerful. He is very, very explosive, and if he hits you clean, you're going down and you're probably going out. The guy hits so hard, okay? And he poses a massive threat with that weapon. It is huge, okay? He's also so strong. I mean, the guy, pistol squatted Dustin Poirier with his ass to the ground and picked him up and threw him. That is not, a regular type of lightweight thing to do. That I've never seen that in my life. The guy has the most explosive takedowns you'll ever see. And, when it comes to his ground game, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. His top pressure's good. You know what I mean? His scrambles are good. I remember in that first fight with Charles Oliveira, he was, Charles was on his back. And Michael Chandler just exploded out of it, just twisted around. It's just crazy. The dude is so explosive and so powerful. He works extremely, extremely hard, and it shows, man. He's got great athleticism for a guy of his age. And, his striking, while it's not the most clean, it's definitely not the most technical, and he definitely is open to counter shots, which we've seen him get hit with in the past by all three of his opponents. The dude is not easy to deal with, okay? Because he's a completely offensive striker that just comes forward and is looking to land a big shot. And in every single loss of his in the UFC, he's landed those shots, okay? And has hurt Oliveira, he's hurt Gaethje, and he's hurt Poirier every single time. The guy has moments, okay? He's not easy to deal with. He's a very, very tough fighter. He's really, really durable as well. I mean, the guy has eaten some extreme shots. I mean, you go back to that Gaethje fight where he was just eating shit. I don't even know how, okay? And those shots that land on him, Poirier hit him with a nasty, nasty check hook. He just, he got dropped, but he came back immediately. Gaethje hit him with a nasty uppercut, and he came back recovered again. The guy has extreme heart. He's not going to quit. And, honestly, he's got pretty good cardio for the type of pace that he pushes. He's always going to be in your face, okay? Now, when it comes to the bad things about Michael Chandler, first off, I want to say the IQ. The IQ isn't good. He does things where he'll explode into massive takedowns and give up a position immediately. He'll overextend a lot, okay? That's something he does a ton of, is just overextending on his shots and leaving himself open to counter shots, okay? When I talk about his cardio, it is pretty good for the kind of pace that he pushes, but it's not great, as well as telegraphing his shots, okay? You can see the dude, when he's trying to throw a right hand, turn his whole body like this, and it's coming, right? As well as he is prone to leg kicks, which I think is going to be huge in this fight. I think, in that Gaethje fight, we had to see him switch to southpaw, and that was a sight I don't want to see again, because of that leg was getting beat up. He stands so low in that stance, and he has a hard time checking those kicks. He's had that problem in Bellator as well, but it's something I think, could cause some problems for him in this fight. So, yeah, that is my breakdown for Michael Chandler, and now I'm going to get into my breakdown for Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira, former champion, one of the most exciting title reigns we've ever seen. Look, man, when I look at Charles, you got Muay Thai, you got BJJ. The dude is exceptional on the ground. I mean, nobody wants to go down and take this dude down. His guard is so dangerous. He can land shots from his guard. He can also throw up nasty submissions. In my eyes, I don't even think Chandler's going to ensue in the wrestling, due to the fact of that, such dangerous guard. I think we'll see this fight on the feet for the most part, and maybe Charles ensuing the takedowns. When I look at Charles' offensive wrestling, it's actually pretty good. His takedown entries are pretty quick. I think he might do that in this fight if he finds himself in a little bit of trouble, and I think it'd benefit him. When it comes to on the feet, man, the dude has great low kicks. He's got big power in his right hand. His left hook, which dropped Chandler last time and finished that fight, is nasty as well. The dude has underrated power. He hits extremely hard as well. Some things about his striking that I think are underrated and I think is going to make a huge difference in this fight is his clinch game. It is disgusting. His clinch is nasty, man. The knees, the front kicks, which isn't the clinch, but his knees in the clinch, his elbows in the clinch, his ability to just grab you if you get close and put you in the clinch and knee you, it is incredible. And I think it'd be a huge part of his game if he can do that to Michael Chandler. And I think that's what's going to make this fight different. You go back to that Dustin Poirier fight, was killing the stomach of Poirier, just digging knees, sharp knees into the body. He did it about 6 or 7 times in the first round, and you could see Dustin Poirier's face. He didn't want any more of that. He looked up at the clock and was like, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, he was tearing that body up, and they were disgusting knees. I'm telling you guys, I think that's one of his best weapons in this fight. And even in general, his clinch game is so nasty, man. His knees are disgusting. I think that's a good way to break Michael Chandler down, as well as kicking that leg, kicking that calf. I think that's going to be important. You saw it in the first fight versus Chandler. He threw one of those calf kicks and spun Michael Chandler around. I think that's important. We saw it in the Gaethje fight. Chandler had to go southpaw. And when he was in orthodox, he lost all of his power. He couldn't move as well. It's a big weapon that I think Charles should use, okay? Chandler's shown, bad defense with that. Like I said, man, when Charles is coming forward, he looks great. He looks great on the front foot. But, man, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. On the back foot, Charles looks horrible, and that's where I think this could cause some problems, man. When he's moving backwards, his footwork is not great. He does not move his head well. He kind of accepts getting hit, and I really don't like seeing that, okay? But when he's on the front foot, he's fantastic. But like I said, on the back foot, man, you'll see it a lot. You can see it in every single fight. Him moving backwards, his head is straight on the straight line. He doesn't circle out the right way, and there's no head movement at all. It's a very bad habit that can be punished, especially against Michael Chandler. If he lands something big, it might be lights out. So I think that's the biggest flaw that I see from Charles. Another one is his fight IQ, okay? Both of these guys' fight IQ is not great. Let's not act like it's great. I'd say Chandler's is worse, but Charles isn't good either, okay? He's durability, okay? Charles seems to get cut when you touch him, okay? He got cut versus in the Makhachev fight when he was and had to pull out of that fight in a sparring fight. But the dude gets cut all the time with anything. So that's kind of bothers me. But his chin durability is very, very weird. I mean, the guy seems to get hurt a good amount, but he doesn't seem to ever be close to being unconscious. He kind of just seems like he's still there but giving up, right? I go back to that Makhachev fight where Islam landed a weird left hook and it kind of dropped Charles, but it didn't look like that. As well as the Gaethje fight in the Poirier fight where he kind of just accepted going down. It's a little bit weird. I don't really know what his durability is like because I don't think he's ever been knocked out cold, but it's weird durability, man. But yeah, man, that's my breakdown for Charles Oliveira, and I'm going to get into my prediction. Charles Oliveira will beat Michael Chandler for the second time via a round 2 submission. Now, look, guys, I talked about how I think this fight is a lot closer than the odds suggest, and I still do believe that, okay? But when it comes down to the skill set and the game plan that Charles can use, I think it's effective, okay? When Michael Chandler is pressuring forward, if Charles can grab that clinch and knee that body, man, it changes the game. It is such an effective weapon, I'm telling you guys right now. It is such an effective weapon. I saw it in the Poirier fight. Poirier looked like he needed a ventilator after the first round because of how many knees were connected to that body. It's so effective when he uses it. The knees are disgusting. And, Charles, when he's moving backwards, man, he's really hittable. I could definitely see, Chandler landing something hard, landing something big like he did in the last fight and dropping Charles and hurting him and possibly getting the finish early on. I definitely think that's possible. But I think the combination of the low kicks from Oliveira, which are very, very hard, I think the push kick is really important for Charles in this fight. I think with that clinch, with that push kick, with those kicks, I think that's what sets this apart. Because with the hands, I do believe that Michael Chandler hits harder. I believe he's a little bit faster and he throws long combinations with which is hard to deal with. But I do think that will open up something for Charles on the feet. All that kicking and all that clinch work, I think we could see a possible head kick from Charles. I think we could see him drop him with the hands again. But I do think this fight will hit the mat by somebody getting dropped, okay? Especially in the second round. I think someone is going to get dropped. I think someone will probably get dropped in the first round as well. But in the second, I think Charles is going to catch him with a big right hand. I think he's going to catch him with a big right hand or an elbow off the clinch, something like that, and drop Chandler. And I think he's going to go to the ground, and I think he's going to latch up a submission, man. I do think he will get Michael Chandler out of there in the second. But, guys, I would not be surprised if Michael Chandler comes out there and knocks Charles out. I really wouldn't, man. The dude is so dangerous. He loves, putting that pressure on him, and Charles does not deal with that well. If Charles is on the back foot, man, you're going to see Michael Chandler land some shots, and you're going to see Charles get hurt and possibly go down. His countering off the back foot is not that great either with the punches, but I think if he does counter with the clinch well off the back foot, I think he does that really well. I really want to see him use that, and as well as kicking the leg, I think that's going to be huge, man, because if this fight goes past the third round and Chandler's leg is all beat up, that power is going to be gone. You're not going to have to worry about it as much, okay? And as well as he's going to be a lot more tired if you're beating that body up. I think it's a solid game plan. But look, man, Michael Chandler, what makes him great is he is unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do. He's going to either blast double leg you or he's going to, throw a front kick like he did to Ferguson. He's unpredictable. You don't know what the hell the guy's going to do. So it's to me, it's a fight that I would definitely, if I was betting on, stay away from the favorite. I think there's definitely value on Michael Chandler. But to me, I don't think it's a fight I will be betting on, especially with the line of the guy that I think is going to win. I think this fight should be minus 120, plus 105. I really do believe it's a close fight, a lot closer than people want to say. But at the end of the day, I think Charles has too many weapons. And to win this fight, I think he's got better skills. And I think overall, man, if I had to rely on someone to win, I would tell you that it would be Charles Oliveira due to his, weapons that he can use, his skill set, as well as his mentality, man. The guy, since, losing so much before, he seems to be different, man, So I think Charles Oliveira is going to be the right pick here. I think he will beat Michael Chandler via a second round club and sub. I'm going to say a rear naked choke for Charles Oliveira. I hope y'all boys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.